This is a video response going out to H.H. Fleury. He didn't respond to any one specific video of mine, but rather he was responding to various points from different videos. The first point he brought up seems to be from my Don't Let the Blackface Fool You video, and unfortunately he misunderstood what I was saying about sellouts. I didn't say that selling out was okay, right, or good. I said I can understand why somebody would do it. Here's an example, or rather an analogy. Let's say you were at the funeral of one of your loved ones, whether it was a close friend or a family member. Naturally, it's not going to be a happy day for you if you cared about the person, of course. You're probably going to be crying and grieving. And let's just say that some asshole walks up into the funeral and starts making jokes or starts telling very personal information that's not very flattering to your loved one at the funeral and totally disrupts it. And then let's say that you get fed up with this person, you walk up to them and just beat them down. Now, that's not right. You can't hit people for what they say. But if you did beat that guy down, I would totally understand. Compare that situation to somebody who's never had much money in their life, and maybe they've even been living under the poverty level. Or you know what? It doesn't even have to be a poor person. It could be an average person who just doesn't have all that much money. They can stay in the house that they live in, or the apartment that they live in, or the projects that they live in, or they can get millions of dollars and live in a mansion. You can stay in a shitty ass 9-to-5 job where you get no respect and you work your ass off. And I'm not saying that being a recording artist or celebrity is easy, but it definitely has its perks. You may have to work hard, but the payoff is very, very good. People will pay you thousands of dollars just to hear you speak or just to show up for a couple of hours at some kind of promotion. And there's a certain level of respect that celebrities get even if they don't deserve it. I'm rambling now, but anyway, the point is, selling out may not be right morally, but when you look at all the things you get when you sell out, I can definitely understand why people do it. And the second point I was trying to make is that we shouldn't focus on the sellouts because there will always be sellouts. You can always go to some poor neighborhood and pull some kid and get him to rap about crap for millions of dollars. Focusing on individuals who sell out is a waste of time. We need to dismantle the machine that creates the sellouts. Just like focusing on individual illegal immigrants is a waste of time. We need to turn off the magnet that's pulling them here. We can deport people all day, but they'll be back because the magnet is still attracting them. If it wasn't Curtis Jackson, I think that's 50 Cent's real name, it'd be somebody else. If it wasn't Beyonce Knowles, it'd be somebody else. We have to get rid of what's creating these people. Moving on, I did want to comment on some of the things that you said were wrong. You said that women used to not be able to vote and that was wrong. Well, in some countries, women still can't vote. Are they doing something wrong in those countries? It depends on who you ask, because morality is not universal. Even in this country, there are people who believe that only men should vote, and they're not all men either. There's a girl on here named Cassie something or other. I can't remember her screen name. But anyway, she is a female, of course, and she believes that women should not be able to vote. She believes women should marry a man who shares her views so that when he casts his vote, he'll be speaking for everyone in his household. The reason I'm bringing this up is, yes, you and me may see something wrong with what Lil Wayne is doing and what 50 Cent is doing, but that doesn't mean that those guys themselves think that there's something wrong with what they're doing. And you might say, well, how can they think that it's right? I don't know. I don't have to justify that. I'm just saying we don't know that they think that what they're doing is wrong. Everyone wasn't raised with the same morals, and people have their differences of opinion. So what's immoral to us may be moral to them. Or they may say that what I'm rapping about may not be moral, but me not being able to feed my children isn't moral either. So they may just be picking the lesser of two evils in their own eyes. And actually, I just listened to a little bit more of your video. I'm listening to it piece by piece and commenting as I go. But you just said that abortion was wrong, but that's not a universal opinion that you hold. Some people don't have a problem with abortion. You went on to say that if I wanted you to, you would put up a video about why abortion is wrong. Well, that's fine, but then somebody else can put up a video about why they think abortion is right. Who determines that you're right and they're wrong, or they're right and you're wrong? Now, if you're going to say God, then that answers that question. But if you don't believe in God, then how do you come to the conclusion of who's right and who's wrong? Well, here's how we settle that. You do what's right for you. If you don't want an abortion, don't have one. I know you're a guy, so I guess you wouldn't want to impregnate a girl who would have one. I personally wouldn't have one, but if some other chick wants to have one, I'm not going to tell her what she can and can't do. She is going to have to live with the consequences of what she did. And just to clarify something else you said in the video, I never said that if something is legal, that automatically makes it right. There was even a line in my video, and I don't remember it verbatim, but I said something like, there will always be people who are willing to do legal things for money even if it's immoral. So that line right there is proof that I don't believe that just because something is legal it's necessarily morally right. Moving right along, you said that instead of focusing on the subliminal messages in rap, I should focus more on the obvious things such as using the word nigger and using the word bitch and hoe and things like that. Well, first of all, that aspect of rap has been well documented, well talked about, and unless I can find something new to bring to the table or find a fresh perspective to look at it from, then to make a video about that is like, yeah, we know that, tell us something we don't know. Also, there are topics that I call quote-unquote low topics, and those are topics that if you make videos about those subjects, you're basically just preaching to the choir. And you'll get a lot of pats on the back from people who already agree with you, like, yeah, you said it, sister. But the people who are actually doing the behavior that you're making the video about, they're either not watching the video, or if they do watch, they'll call you a hater or verbally assault you in some way. So unless I really got something unique and new to bring to the table, I'm not going to cover a low topic. Aside from that, I think that the subliminal messages that I was pointing out in the videos are a lot more damaging to the black community than two black men calling each other nigga as a term of endearment. Now, I don't use the word nigga, which is the word that they're actually using in the rap videos, not nigger. You may be asking what the difference is, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, I don't use the word nigga or nigger as a term of endearment. I use the word nigger, and when I do, it's a bad thing. And I mean that I'm using it to describe a bad thing, not that me saying it is a bad thing. But anyway, the point is that convincing people to subliminally spend up all their money and not save anything, the consequences of that are a lot more detrimental than the use of the word nigga or bitch or hoe. Now, don't take that as me endorsing the use of the word nigga. I wish people would stop using that as a term of endearment. But I would much rather see people stop spending their money on bullshit. You made the statement that if blacks want to be treated equal to whites, they should stop hating on themselves with the word nigga. Or actually, you said nigger. Well, as I said, I don't use the word as a term of endearment, but I can't stop other black people from using it. But furthermore, to address your point, if black people are not treated equally to whites and other races, it has nothing to do with that word. It would have more to do with things like money. And that's what I'm trying to cover in my videos. Who's calling whom what name doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Having enough money to be able to do what you need to do in life, that's important. But anyway, I think this nigga thing is blown out of proportion because, and here's a challenge for you, I don't even think you can come up with a real world consequence of black people calling each other nigga. And you may come up with something like, oh, well, the other races won't take black people seriously. Well, some black people do call each other nigga, but do you take Oprah seriously? Do you take Michael Jordan seriously? You sound young, like you could be in high school or at least college. Do you take your black classmates seriously? I mean, are you taking me seriously? Right now I'm a black person, by the way. People always like to take little things that have little consequence or no consequence at all and blow it up into this big huge thing and act like, oh, if you say this, if you do this, then the whole world will collapse and nobody's going to have any food to eat. And this stuff never happens. And you said in your video that it's black people being racist against each other. Well, that's fine. But who's being hurt by this so-called racism? Definitely not you, so don't worry about it. People who are not black who act like they are somehow hurt by the fact that some black people call themselves nigger is a little bit funny to me. And I'm not laughing at you, I'm just saying. If it hurts you, show me how it hurts you. Moving along, well actually not moving along, then you said if it's wrong for me, meaning you, as a white person to call you a nigger, then it should be wrong for black people to call each other nigger. Here we go again with the right and wrong. Okay, here's the thing. There are country clubs still today that I as a black person cannot enter. I am not being hurt by that. There's plenty of places for me to go without going there. If you as a white person are not allowed to use the word nigger, you're not hurt by that. But if you say it, you will be hurt. And not by me, and I'm not threatening you, so don't take that as a threat. I don't hit people for calling me nigger. I'll find something to bag on them about. But it's for your own protection that you not use the word. See, if black people call each other nigger, nobody gets hurt. If other people start using the word nigger, somebody gets hurt, whether it's the black person who gets called nigger, or the person who gets punched in the face for saying it, or the person who loses their job because they said it. My idea of right and wrong hinges more on if somebody gets hurt, and there are a few exceptions to that. But mostly I say if nobody gets hurt, there's not a problem. So that's my response. Hope that clears everything up. If not, hit me back. Thanks for watching.